I don't think that they should. What's up with my audio? Somebody said there's something. Oh, okay. All right, we're good. All right, good. I don't know. Somebody said there was something wrong with my audio. And of course, I don't have my producer here today to fix my stuff. Oh, okay, so somebody said here, this was coming from TikTok. I heard the username. They asked me to not mention their username, so I'm not going to do that. And the question was, should the Mets re-sign Pete Alonso at the trade deadline, or should they trade him? I look at it this way: if the Mets keep Pete Alonso, I mean, he's fine. I just think he is definitely a franchise player. I like Pete Alonso. I think Pete Alonso should stay. You got to remember something too. Same thing that goes with Alonso. With Francisco Lindor. Those are two superstars. They are your core of this team. You get rid of one of them, you have no team, really. And are there other guys that would step up? Yes, I do believe that there are other guys that would step up. In regards to Francisco Lindor or Pete Alonso. You got like Marte that's been doing all right in the outfield. You got JD Martinez that's doing very good with the bat. So I'm not disappointed on the way the Mets are going with certain guys. I do like Harrison Bader. I like on how he's out there. I don't like the fact that he's not playing every day because they don't play Harrison Bader enough to be out there. But Brendan Nimmo is fine there. He's fine at left field. I'm not worried about him there. And I'm not worried about Marte. I think Marte is doing just as good. And then Harrison Bader is going to be your center fielder. I don't know if they're like trying to platoon the both of them, JD Martinez or Harrison Bader. How I look at it this way, Harrison Bader needs to be a DH guy. He should be your center field guy. JD Martinez need to be your DH. And if you once in a while, if you want to bring in DJ Stewart, then I would bring in DJ Stewart. But they need to really set that outfield. You can't keep doing every day, every other day with one of the two guys. You need to set the DH role and you need to set center field. Because if it's not set, then it plays around and gives it too much wiggle room in regards to the positions out there. And that's kind of how my perspective is in regards to the fielding and the outfielding. There are guys that are doing really good, but again, if a guy's not doing good, I would sit him down. But they keep going and sitting Martinez down at times, and also sitting Harrison Bader down at times. You got to keep them both together. You got to keep them both going. So the way I look at it is they have to keep these guys together, keep these guys in coordinates, keep these guys together. And, day off, give them probably once in a blue moon, but they need to be there. They need to be your two guys every day, Harrison Bader and JD Martinez. And that's kind of how I look at it. And if you look at JD Martinez's ERA, he's got a 2.86 ERA when he's in the lineup. So it's good. It really is a good ERA, and plus he's got a lot of RBI so far. He's got 13 RBIs with the Mets right now. So that's JD Martinez alone, and then Harrison Bader, he's got 14. So that's pretty good, to say the least, with the New York Mets. And these are two guys that are brand new, fresh coming in. So, do they help? They help the hitting and they help defense. And they're very two good players. And I don't regret those moves at all. I really like both of them. So that wasn't a question, but I figured I'd go in and put a notable into that. Then our second question is from Mike Lankett. He's from Long Beach, Long Island, and his question was, who do you send? Who do you send down, and who do you think that would stay into the rotation? Now, if we're seeing it the way it is right now, obviously, Adrian Hauser got sent to the rotation, so he was kind of the odd man out in that way. Do I think that when we bring back Kodai Senga, somebody's going to get switched or moved? Yeah. Who is it? Don't know yet. I have to really see on where we are, and then I could analyze who goes down or who else they're gonna put in the bullpen. But I mean, I like what I've seen out of Ottavino. I'm liking what I'm seeing out of Christian Scott so far. Christian Scott is I really like him as a pitcher. I think the Mets should keep him there. I saw what he was able to do in the minors. I saw him firsthand in the minors. If you guys go back on older videos that I've done, and I've talked about a lot of prospects back, in the offseason, I said, who could be my top 5? Christian Scott was one of them. And I'm all about pitching. I'm more into pitching than I am in regards to the hitting. I think hitting, again, a lot of people want to see a little bit more hitting into the repertoire, but a lot of people want to be able to see a lot of good pitching. And if you look in regards to the stats for the Mets right now in regards to pitching, we are second and third in the league in pitching. Not with starting pitching is third, bullpen is number 1 in the league. So the confidence is there. I think the pitching is there. The good quality pitchers are there. Adam Ottavino, Drew Smith. Now it's going to be Adrian Hauser into that mix. Edwin Diaz. I'm not worried about with Diaz. Again, like I said, it's still early. I think Edwin Diaz is just still trying to get a little bit more work in. And they're not giving him enough work. But I do think, in my opinion, that Edwin Diaz is the best one out there. So, I mean, if you're going to close and have anybody close, it's going to be Edwin Diaz. And then, obviously, your second closer would be Adam Ottavino. Ottavino really has proven himself this year. And you can see on how comfortable he's starting to look. Were there outings that he didn't look as sharp? Yeah. But I really do feel that getting the guys in positions, getting them settled, getting their work in is very important. And I think the rotation has been very, very important. I do think that the back of the bullpen is so far, hands down, the best in the league right now. So having Drew Smith in there, having Ottavino, Adrian Hauser is probably is now going to be going into that mix. A lot of work, I think, that the Mets have done, and David Stern has done a phenomenal job in that way. Now, I think David Stern needs to go out and get a catcher. We need a catcher. We honestly need a catcher right now. And, I mean, Omar Narvaez, I mean, he's iffy. Tomas Nido can't hit. I mean, he really can't hit. However, but he has been hitting the last few games. But one does not wear down for him. It definitely will wear down. So, I mean, you gotta play devil's advocate sometimes, and I do think that the way the bullpen is running, I just think it's right now really super good. So that's where I'm going by. And then we got another question. This is Emily from Yonkers, New York. And she wants to know, what do you think about Sean Manaea? You think he's definitely going to be a keeper? Yeah, I do. I think Sean Manaea is really starting to feel out himself. I mean, the first couple of starts, he looked a little iffy, but his last outing didn't look super great. I mean, I think he's starting to target his targets, going from the outside of the strike zone, going a little bit more down into the dirt. I like the pitch sequencing that he's doing, but I mean, you got to pick it up. I think he's got to pick up a little bit more velocity in the slider because he's dipping down to 84 miles an hour, which that slider was going in at 94. So I think he dipped down in pitching, but again, he's another guy that I think that could be good, and he's doing all right. So again, I'm not really worried about that. My analysis is perfectly where Sean Manaea is your best option. I mean, a lot of the guys in that rotation are doing really good right now. So, have it with Louis Severino, having Sean Manaea in there. I mean, I do like those two. And they're right now the best options in that starting rotation. And then let's go with Mike from the Bronx. And he wants to know about when Kodai Senga comes back, who goes out? Who goes out? I don't know yet. Honestly, I have to see on how everybody's pitching. I have to see everybody's pitching before I even make my determination. I mean, I think the odd man out may be Christian Scott, but if Christian Scott still continues to pitch good, then he might stay. Okay, then we have Nick from Lancaster, New York. Don't know where that is. And his question is, should the Mets trade Sterling Marte? I have to come back to that question. You have to give me a sure bet to trade Marte. Do I like Sterling Marte? Yes. Do I think he's good out there in outfield? Yes. Do I think that Sterling Marte should be traded? Again, you got to give me something really, really good in return. If the Mets were smart, I would definitely go with Juan Soto. I think Juan Soto has a really good bat. I don't think Juan Soto is going to remain with the Yankees, but I mean, he already pointed out that he don't want to be with the Yankees. I mean, you've seen jabs from Soto. I don't know if I'm going to stay here. I don't know if I'm going to, go. Because he's a pompous ass. That's what he is. Me personally, I don't like the guy. But, I mean, he could definitely be a sure thing. He could definitely be a sure outfielder. I mean, do you need a good DH? I think he could be definitely a good DH for the Mets. But, I mean, you got J.D. Martinez. So, I mean, I don't know on exactly what the logistics were in that contract deal. I think it was like 4 years at like $86 million or something like that. I don't have that contract stats in front of me, but I mean, J.D. Davis is going to be a guy for now until the Mets end up, not even going to use him. But J.D. Martinez is your sure, DH guy. See what happens. Okay, then we have question here from Chris in Oracle, Florida, and he wants to know, do you think that the Mets could keep Tyrone Taylor? Is he a better option there in outfield as opposed to moving positions of JD Martinez or having Harrison Bader? I mean, I like Tyrone Taylor. I think he's good. I think he's good coming off the bench at times. I don't think that Tyrone Taylor could be a guy that we could bring in as an everyday player. No, I think he's a guy that you could bring in at once in a while, or bring in the spot where you need when the game is on the line. I mean, I do think he's a sure bat. So same thing goes with DJ Stewart. I think the Mets got a lot of depth in DH right now. Then we have another question here. How do you? This is from Tom from Missouri, and he wants to know, Brett Baty. You think the Mets could trade Brett Baty? No, I don't. I don't think they should trade Brett Baty. I mean, you need a third baseman. He's going to be your third baseman. I wouldn't trade him. I mean, he's learning. But I think the bum that we had before, I think the bum that we have right now, he's not that good. I just don't understand. I don't understand that move. I think that's a terrible move. I think that's a move that they really regretting, because Brett Baty, he's going to learn. Give him some time. Listen, the problem here with the league is that you go into stages. You go 2 years, you go into 3 years, and then all of a sudden you bring him up into the majors, and he needs to be a superstar overnight. I think Brett Baty has a lot to learn. I'm not worried on Brett Baty. I think Brett Baty is going to go through baby steps, and that's in my opinion. But I mean, he's got a really good bat. I like his plate discipline. I like him being there at third base. He's definitely your solid option. I mean, he's starting to make a little bit better in fielding. I mean, he was prone for his bat in the minors. He wasn't prone to his field position. He was prone to having a really good bat down there. Having 32 home runs, having 72 RBIs. I mean, it's shown that he's capable of being up here in the majors. So, again, he's got a really nice presence there at the plate, has a really nice swing. I mean, I don't think the Mets are going to go in any different route. I think Brett Baty's here to stay, and I don't think he's going to go anywhere. So that's all of the questions that we do have. Now, if I missed your questions, please feel free to leave it in the comment section down below. We'll answer it in our tomorrow's 9 o'clock show. If you guys would like to see all of our shows, we go 9 o'clock, 12 p.m., and then we go an hour before game time. And also, if you would like to see tomorrow's live stream, we got the New York Mets versus the Atlanta Braves. We got Charlie Morton on the mound for Atlanta. And for New York, we got Christian Scott. This is his second start. I'm really interested in what he's going to do. I mean, I loved what he did in his first start. I love the pitch sequencing. I love on how he's shaking pitches off, what he feels that are not good, what are good. I think he's going to be a really good talent. I feel a lot of good things coming out of him. And hopefully, he's not going to disappoint us. So, he will be on the mound for tomorrow's game. Now, again, if you would like to get the live stream, you guys can check it out by going to MetsXMFanZone.org. We give you no interruptions, no pop-ups, no advertisements, no TV providers. And by signing up for just $14 a month, you get all those great benefits. You get no pop-ups, no advertisements, no TV providers, no nasty restrictions, especially when MLB goes that we don't. We're the alternative to MLB. And we're the alternative for your New York Met live games. And me, I stick with MetsXMFanZone. Check it out. It's in our show details if you would like to get more information. And again, we would like to thank Path for being partners with us. Again, if you guys would like to get Path and like to try the water out, you can go to a grocery store near you. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Be safe, be well, and we will see you guys in our tomorrow's live stream at 9 a.m. You guys can check us out at the 12 p.m. too. And also, you can check us out an hour before game time. We give you all Mets coverage. We give you Mets live streams on MetsXMFanZone.org. I want to thank you guys for watching. Be safe. Be well. Let's go, Mets.